Good morning, everyone. My name is Anderson Precious. I'm 15 years old and I'm from Elele Secondary School. The title of my story is Procrastination, the Thief of Time. The saying that procrastination is the thief of time is very true. This is the story of Shade Badamuso, a beautiful, young, and intelligent girl. She was born with a silver spoon and she had everything she ever wanted. But then she has a very big challenge. She procrastinates and she's very lazy. People usually talk to her to change her ways, but she wouldn't listen. Even her father would call her countless times, Shade, this habit of yours is very bad. I want you to change because I want a better life for you. But she would say, now, mommy, I don't need to stress myself. You have everything that you could use to cater for me. So I don't need to do anything to stress myself. But a day came when Shade's story about life was drastically changed. Her grandmother came to visit them at the house and she noticed Shade's bad behaviors. So she decided to teach her a lesson. Shade's grandmother told her a story about Sienna, a young woman just like Shade. She was intelligent, brilliant, and ambitious, but she also has a big challenge. She procrastinates and she's very lazy. People would talk to her to change her ways, but she wouldn't listen. Even her mother would call her countless times. Tiana, this habit of yours is very bad. And if you do not change now, it will lead you to a point where you would ever regret being born. But she would not refuse. She would not listen to her mother. And then they all left her to her fate when she refused to listen to them. But a day came when catastrophe struck. Shade was in her room preparing to go to work because she was a medical doctor. But then her son, who was studying abroad, called her to inform her that he was coming back home to pay her a visit. Shade was overjoyed and started preparing for the arrival of her son. The next day, she went into the kitchen and started preparing a delicious meal for her son. Her husband had gone to the airport to pick their son up. While she was cooking, she received a call from the manager of the hospital where she works as a surgeon that there was an emergency and she needed to be at the hospital at that very moment. Shade refused to go because she said it was her day off and she doesn't need to be at the hospital. She also said she was expecting important people, that she could not leave them alone. After about 45 minutes, when her husband and her son had not returned and her conscience began to prick her, she decided to just go to the hospital to see what was actually going on. When she got to the hospital, she went straight to the theater where the operation was to be performed. She received the biggest shock of her life when she turned to the patient and realized that the patient she had kept waiting for about 45 minutes was actually her son that was coming back from the United Kingdom. She started screaming and shouting, but then she gathered herself up and commenced treatment on the boy, but it was too late because Tiana's son was already gasping for breath. He said, Mom, look what you've done. Look where your procrastinating habit has led you. Dad and I always warned you, but you wouldn't listen. I just want you to know that if I lose my life this day, you caused it, you killed me, and I hate you more. And then he gave up the ghost. Shade couldn't take it anymore. She started screaming and shouting, rolling on the floor and mourning her son. The other doctor someone told her that she should accept her fate because there was nothing that could be done. She asked of her husband and she was told that he had died even before coming to the hospital. It was at that point that Tiana knew that her life was over. It was at that point that she knew that everything she had labored for had gone into waste just within few hours. She got up and went home after the other doctors told her to accept her lot. But she did not accept her lot. She went home, ruminated about her life, about her family and her son, and how she had cut his life short because of her bad habits. She decided to end it all. She decided to go and meet her family wherever they are. And then she took rat poison and died in the most shameful and embarrassing manner ever. When Shade heard this story, she became very sober, ran into her room, sat down on her bed, and started praying to God to help her and forgive her of all of her evil ways. She also prayed to God that God should help her to live a new life. As from then onwards, Shade started living a new life. She stopped being lazy and she stopped procrastinating. She became diligent and hardworking. Everybody was surprised when Shade wrote her WAEC examination and she passed diligently. She even had B3 in mathematics, a subject she never knew she could pass. Everybody was happy for her. And then she sat in her room one day, ruminating about her life. And then she thought that she could never have gotten to the point she was if Grandma had not told her the story about Sienna. She then concluded in her mind that truly the saying that procrastination is the thief of time is very true. Thank you.